Hello, this is Unit I, Concepts 3 to 5, which is compound interest and investment application. So the problem says Norma wants to raise money to rent a space offered at the mall and have a second key chain shop. She needs to buy all the supplies and wants to decorate the shop. She has $3,000 to put in a 36-month CD that yields 3.5%. How much money will she have at the end of the term if it is compounded daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually? Okay, since we are talking about compound interest, we are going to be using the compound interest formula, which is A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the NT power. So before we begin, A stands for how much money we will have after this, depending on how many it is compounded, and that is what we are looking for in this case. P is the principal amount, so in this case, our principal amount, we started with $3,000, so we are going to put 3,000, and then R is the rate, and if we notice, rate here is in percent, so we don't write rate as percent, we write it as a decimal, so we will be dividing by 100, and when we do that, we get 0.035, and then N is the number of times that the money is going to be compounded, and in this case, we're going to do it a couple of times. We're going to do it daily, which is 365, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. So we will be doing this 6 times. And then T is the time in years. But notice that we have here the time in months, and it's 36 months, so we have to convert that to years. So we do that by dividing by 12. So 36 divided by 12 equals 3. So our time is 3 years. So now that we have our values, all we have to do is plug it into our formula. So it's going to be A equals 3,000 times 1 plus R, which is 0.035, over N. Since we're going to be plugging it multiple times, we'll just put X times N, which we had said is X, times our time, which is 3. So we will be plugging in 3. And then, so we won't have to plug in all these values and solve it separately. We can use our graphing calculator. And in the y equals button, we will just plug in the equation. So we put 300 times 1 plus 0.035 over x to the 3 times x. And then we graph it. And then we have to make sure our windows are right, and since it's really big numbers, we would have big numbers. And then we just click the trace button, and then we trace our values that we need. So our first one is 365, and then it is 3,332.112. So when we find our answers, we have to round it to the second decimal place since we are dealing with money, it has to be in only 2 decimal places. So now we just do the other one. So when we plug in 52, it's 3,332.01. Monthly 12, it will be 3,331.62. Quarterly 4 is 3,330.61. Semi-annually 2 is 3,329.11, and then 1 it's 3,326.15, And then we have to remember to put dollar signs since we are dealing with money. And then that is it. That will be our answer.